Welcome to Café Latino Cooking with Friends. This is a show designed to share easy ways to cook and learn about our diverse community here in Northern Virginia. As a host, I usually invite people who love to cook, from professional chefs to friends. Today we have invited Jerry Kale, General Manager of Joe Crab Shack here in Fairfax, Virginia. He will show us about how to cook a easy, delicious food. Welcome, Jerry.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So the other day I had the opportunity to eat the delicious crab cakes.
Excellent,
in this
yes.
event, and I love it. I think your restaurant is absolutely delicious. The food is just delicious.
We're having fun, thanks.
How long have you been there?
This is my 10th year at Joe's Crab
10
Shack
years.
in Fairfax, yes.
So have you become different positions around these 10 years?
Well, at Joe's Crab Shack, I've been mostly the general manager and getting those things done here, but throughout my career, I started off as a dishwasher,
Wow.
server, cook, you know,
Do you always
all the
like
different things.
Do you always like cooking?
I did like cooking as a young person. If I was eating, I was cooking, so it was a big deal. My parents both worked a lot, so they put some of that stuff onus on me, and so I cooked for my brother and my sister and those things like that as a young person, and just grew up. It was ample, you know, it was an obvious opportunity for me to go into that industry.
That's awesome. One of the things I like to share with the community is things about the restaurant, about Joe's Crab. What you can tell me about Joe's Crab? How long has it been existing?
Well, Joe's Crab Shack started in 1991 on a road trip for a couple guys in South Texas looking for some good crabs. And everyone that I talk to about Joe's Crab Shack, I tell them we don't like to compare ourselves to any other restaurants that are around here. We all like to compare ourselves to that little crab house on the shore that has its own boat that goes out and has the freshest thing there. And I usually joke around, they say there's 4 or 5 guys sharing about 7 or 8 teeth, and they're all, you know, the ones that are working the hardest and getting that stuff right out to do. But when you go in, you know, it's the freshest thing you've ever seen, because you've seen the boat come right in there. It goes right on the, you know, right into the pot and right on the plate, and it's just that fresh.
So one of the things that I like it more about what the company does is helping the community. Can you tell us about what you do about helping the community?
Absolutely. We believe in the community. We believe in being part of the community, reaching out to the community and making sure that people want to share what their needs are with us. And some things that we've done is Joe's Crab Shack as a corporation. We're helping out No Kid Hungry. They have a big month in October, and in autism in April, and then we do things all throughout the year through all kinds of different things where we're helping out with all the different organizations and doing those things like that.
I love it. So today, what you brought us to learn how to do it?
Well, we're going to do a crab cake Caesar, a Chipotle Caesar, because we have a Chipotle, step it up a notch, you know, a little bit for our southern flair where we're going with that stuff. And I know when you were at the event the last time you had the crab cakes, and that was a big fan of that, so I wanted to bring that for you to try again.
And it's, that dressing that you put over just...
The remoulade sauce I didn't bring, but I think you're going to really be a big fan of the Chipotle Caesar dressing.
So let us know how, let's see how.
So now the crab cakes, I made it ready for the restaurant, so where everything is in style. When we said, oh, we've got a big time here, and it's like, well, no, good. Well, this salad takes me about 4 minutes to make, but there's all different parts of the salad take a little bit longer. So we're going to make the crab cake ourselves, and then we do that with some panko breadcrumbs, and then the whole lump crab that we do that stuff with us. And we make a little dressing with some mayonnaise and some liquid egg, and we mix it in there with some different spices that are going to bring that up a notch. And that holds it all together when we do that.
That's awesome. Perfect.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to get started with that then?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So we're going to get the pan and we're going to bake the crab cake. And we're going to put it in the oven for about 4 or 5 minutes. So when we get that ready to go, it's going to be ready in here. All right, there we go.
Oh, I thought that they fried the
No fried.
This
no.
is great.
Everything is baked, so we want to be as health conscious as we can be. I don't want to say that that's everything that Joe's Crab Shack is about, because if you go on and you take a look at some of our calories, some of them are a little bit higher, but that just means it tastes that much better. So
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
So we do that, and we're gonna mix in some of the dressing here, and this is a Chipotle Caesar dressing, and then we made a pico de gallo, and that's with tomatoes and jalapenos and onions and some cilantro and some lime juice, and we want to make sure that that tastes real good. So we mix it inside, and we're going to dress it up real nice. So we're going to put half of it inside the salad.
Okay.
And then some black bean relish also, and this is, you can use the canned black beans because they're fantastic, you know. And then we do some jalapenos and some onions and corn and get that good stuff.
So it sounds very southern, no?
Yeah, right. So that's what we started in. We started in Texas, so that's what we do and that stuff.
So how many restaurants they have around the United States?
There's 130 Joe's Crab Shacks throughout the restaurant, throughout the United States, so it's pretty good stuff.
So here in Virginia, just have one?
Well, in Northern Virginia, we have Fairfax, and then there's one in Fredericksburg.
Oh, okay.
And then there's one in Hampton Roads, and then in Chesapeake as well.
Okay, wow.
And then we've got one in Gaithersburg, and then there's a couple more going further east in Maryland.
So do you receive the meat, the crab meat, or you receive the crabs alive?
The crabs are from the Arctic Circle, so we don't want those alive. And those things are caught, you know, like on the Deadliest Catch. So they're getting them out there, and they're caught right off the boats and everything, and they take them straight into the docks, and they're cooked up there. They're kept on the boats live and the things like this. And as soon as they get off the shore, they're cooked and flash frozen when they're up there. Because someone asked me if we have a fresh king crab.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Well, the king crab, the king crabs they're not like the blue crabs. We could keep, you know, if we get blue crabs in, then they're live because they're from our waters and they're right over there. So we could do that live and do those things fresh, but they're a little bit far to travel to be cooking anything fresh.
Okay. So you receive the meat?
No, they're still in the shell. They're still, you know, we do the legs and everything. Everything is ready to go, so you can crack the legs and do crab legs. That's
but for the crab cakes, you put it out the meat?
The crab cakes are blue crab.
Blue crab.
Right, so we receive just the meat for the crab cakes, right?
But what kind of food do you sell at the restaurant besides the crab cakes?
Well, we serve pasta, chicken, steaks, you know, everything that's gonna, everything that everyone's gonna like. So it's good. Something for everybody all the time.
Something for everybody. That's
awesome. You bet.
So one of the things I was listening before, and I thought that was very neat, is like, let's say there's a non-profit who wants to raise money. So can you tell us about how the people can come to you?
Absolutely. When everybody comes to do an organizational event at Joe's Crab Shack, we make a flyer for them, and they send it out to all their friends and family, neighbors and coworkers and those things. And when people bring those flyers in and they enjoy their stuff on that designated night that is for them, we add up all those flyers all together and all the totals that they had for their night, and then we take a percentage of that and we give it back to the organization.
That's very nice.
So all they have to do is reach out to their friends and family and say, hey, want to go have a good time with me at Joe's Crab Shack? Everybody says, heck yeah. They get in a car, they come to Joe's Crab Shack, and then they leave full, happy, and then there's a check coming their way soon.
So this would be good, like for PTA, like
absolutely,
PTAs.
For sure. We do a lot of things with local PTAs, local schools, especially with schools starting back up again. We want to get those things ready to go, and we reach out to different kindergarten classes. We do crab universities in the restaurant too, where we bring in school-age children and we walk them around the university, and we walk them around the restaurant, right? And we tell them all about the crabs and where they come from and all those cool things when we're doing that stuff. And then we take them in the freezer and show them where they are. And I like to get a picture of all the little kids in the freezer, and they're all freezing like that and all having a good time. And then they all get to take home free kids meals too. So then every time they come in, and then we feed them and we do stuff like that, and then they get new kids meals like that stuff too. So let's take a look at this crab cake and see how it's coming along. It smells like it's getting close.
Had to be toasty?
Right, there we go.
Oh, that is the secret.
Okay.
To turn it.
Very good. Right, we want to make sure we're getting that stuff done.
So that is something, talking a little more about when you were a chef. Tell me about your experience as a chef.
Well, you know, I worked all the way up and down the East Coast opening different restaurants for different organizations, and we would always be super busy and getting those things done and always making sure that we had the freshest stuff coming in and getting the fresh stuff out in the fastest time possible. And so when we were that busy, you'd think it'd be hard to get everything, you know, getting that done, but because you want to make sure you have all of the right products in all the right time and make sure that's happening for you all the time.
So this salad, we combine all these ingredients, and it sounds pretty healthy.
Okay, we'll go with that. You know, it's light and it's fresh, and it makes it makes you feel better when you're saying you're eating a salad, you know. But there's a lot of egg and mayonnaise and those things in this thing too, in the Caesar salad dressing. So it's a fresh salad. It makes everybody feel good about eating
I
it.
love the southern flavor. So the tortillas, oh my God, I love. Can I take tortilla?
Yes, yes.
Tortilla?
And we fry those fresh in the restaurant too, so we want to make sure that everything is super crisp and super fresh when you're in there.
This is delicious.
So, I mean, and the way that we do these, we actually fry these to order. You know, we get these stuff ready to go. So we want everything to be super hot and, you know, the way that it's supposed to be when it comes out.
Awesome.
So it feels like you're making it at home.
Did you cook in your house?
I do, yes.
I
have
imagine.
a beautiful wife and a beautiful 10-year-old soccer star, you know, where
wonderful.
they're their own best critics. And when everybody likes to come and say, oh, I'll have this, or I'll have this, I like this. And so I said, well, I was making this. They go, oh, yeah, well, we'll have this too. So it feels like a restaurant in my house all the time because I'm usually making 3 different meals at the same time. And everybody's saying, oh, well, you can do it, right? And I said, yeah, but no buts, just do it. And so that's
what I was thinking about when you have a chef or a person who knows how to cook, how the women, you know, to be.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
say, you know,
she has a beautiful kitchen. She does. She doesn't. Yes, it's a beautiful kitchen.
Yeah, some women like us, we come to be professionals. So my husband likes to cook.
Right.
So sometimes I tell him, I don't know what to cook. There's nothing in the refrigerator. So he goes to the refrigerator and he cooks something delicious. Like, how you do this? You know, it's just.
Well, you have to break it down. You know, I have to say, well, what's in this? And so, you know, what you want to have. And so, oh yeah, we've got that. Okay, we can get it going. So it's not good. Is that almost done? So
that's the thing. This is what I created these shows because I wanted to learn easy ways to cook that is not very complex. And, you know, I invite friends and chefs. And
absolutely. I mean, I have friends that do the same thing. And my parents used to invite me over for Thanksgiving. And I said, okay, this is great. And they'd say, here. And I said, what is this? They said, well, this is a credit card and the shopping list. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I'll be right back. And then I'd come back home and then I'd make everything for them and then everything was good like that.
That's awesome.
So then when we get this stuff down on top of here, and we've got this all incorporated inside the salad, then we want to top it off with even a little more on top. So then we get to mix this around on top here.
So delicious.
Right there. And then we're going to do, these are almost like croutons, you know, Southern style croutons when we hit the chips inside there, right there.
They're so well cut it out, like nice.
Well,
fried, delicious.
We try. All right, and we'll get this ready to go here. Top there. Nice little parts didn't make it super pretty, and
oh my God,
go.
that is just awesome.
That's it.
That's a very delicious salad, really. So I want to share with you something. So I'm from Mexico.
Okay.
And in Mexico, I studied to be a food engineer. It's something different. Food engineer.
Okay.
That means it's like engineers who work with the herders, so the meat production.
Okay.
So one time I did a study about crabs. You know, they have to preserve, and they're really, really fascinating animals.
Sure.
You know that, and then one of the things I love more is like, you know, how they live together, and then the sad part is to cook them. No?
Well,
I was very sad, but then eating them.
Right.
But the part of the eating the crabs is a tricky form, no? Can you tell me about you know, you need to have this, tell me about.
You want to be able to break the legs off the right way and get them ready to go and open them. And we have a neat thing at Joe's Crab Shack. We have a crab zipper. It's a yellow tool that we've created ourselves right here.
Oh, how cute is
when
that?
you flip it over top, and then on the inside of the leg, there's a little yellow spot that's a softer spot than the really hard part on the red. And you kind of work the crab zipper all the way down. You pull it out there, and you can just pull the meat right out, and it comes right out, and it's all easy. Especially when it's cooked the right way, then it comes all out. It comes really easy, so it's good.
Oh my God! Look at that! It's a tricky thing that you have in that place. Yeah. Because for me, it's always a big problem.
Well, I know some of even the blue crabs seem to be more work.
Why are they called blue crabs?
Well, that's the style of crab that's up here in Maryland.
Oh,
that's
okay, that's a different type of crab. Okay.
So the crabs that we have are a lot easier to maneuver and get those things ready to go. When you're cracking those open, you can pull it out there and wiggle it just a little bit, and you can pull the whole leg out there itself, and it comes out there and it's soft and juicy.
Thinking about crabs when I was in Mexico, I just love it. But so in the mornings, I can imagine, in the mornings the crabs arrive to your place, and then can you tell me what is a regular day there in your restaurant?
Well, we use a lot of crab, all right? And so when the crabs come in, let's say we do inventories of crab, and we have like 900 pounds of crab coming through the door, you know, for that morning or whatever, and we're trying to get that stuff ready to go. And we have to store it correctly, and we want to rotate it and make sure that everything's soft and fresh and getting that stuff ready to go.
How much crabs?
Well, we
you separate for what they do then for.
Correct.
That's a lot
I
of
know
crabs.
the crabs that I counted this morning. I had over 900 pounds of crab in the building this morning.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God.
It'll change on different days, and they're all days like when we have all-you-can-eat crabs on Wednesdays. We might go through, you know, several hundred pounds just on that one day.
Oh
you know,
my
when
God,
it comes out there. And
that's
the snow crab is all done. You know, when people keep cracking, they're cracking like crazy, saying, "Bring me some more snow crab. Bring me some more snow crab." And then we just keep bringing it and make sure that they're happy.
That's awesome. I noticed that you have a very young people working in the restaurant. Young people.
Right.
That I like that. So it's a very nice environment.
We make it a peaceful, happy environment. We want to make it conducive for them growing too, because we've had some people that have been with us for a little while where we've trained them to be different things, like different manager type things, and they give them more responsibility and get those things up there. And people that don't want to make restaurant career their be all in career or new things, they have something on their resume that says when they were here they stayed for a while and they did a good job where they get those things ready to go and they were given more responsibility. And they
so that is the part I thought also very nice about this brand, this restaurant, is like the fact you help youth people to grow inside this. I thought that was something quite interesting about that.
I have several that have been with me, you know, from their senior year in high school and all the way through college, and some of them have the big boy and big girl jobs now on the side, and they still work for me, and they do those things for hours, you know, stuff. A couple of parents have came to me and said, "Hey, you owe me some money," because they went through school and I spent $40,000 a year in school, and now they still want to work for you. I said, you could have saved me some money by letting them not do that.
That is really funny. Yeah, you know what the parents how we are. Yeah.
That's right.
My son used to work as a lifeguard. So my son finished college. He went to Virginia Tech, and now he's working. It's just very how fast time goes by. You know that.
Right.
So your daughter, I'm sure that they will be soon in college.
Well, we are, yes. We're already looking at college and thinking about college, and every decision you make with how you raise them and everything is going on, how this is forming them into being, you know, grown people.
No, I think it's very important to be part of the so she's in sixth.
She's going into fifth grade.
Fifth grade.
She's a rising fifth grader right now. And so she's doing all of her summer reading and getting all those kind of fun things doing while she's doing her camps and all that stuff during the summertime.
That's incredible. But coming back a little about be a manager in the restaurant. So you oversee everything.
I'm the general manager, so I oversee everything, correct? Right?
So
with my tenure in the restaurant, I try to reach out and help some of the other restaurants if they need it, so we get to do that stuff.
So you are kind of senior there.
Well, I'm senior in my restaurant, so we do that stuff. Yeah.
That's good. But it's just it's so amazing. I think it's very simple salad. I like it. So can you repeat the ingredients? Will be lettuce.
Sure. Well, it's romaine lettuce, and we cut the lettuce in ribbons, so we make sure that they're long, and it makes it you know, tastier and get stuff ready to go for you. And then there's a Caesar dressing that we make ourselves, and we do the stuff with a bunch of egg and get the stuff ready to go for an oil and do that stuff. And then there's the corn tortillas, and then the pico de gallo and the black bean relish that we make ourselves, and we mix them all up in there.
So it sounds like kind of very delicious food to eat that fresh.
Well, do you want to try some, or do we have time for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Just
there we go.
Let's see how.
There we go.
Let's see how delicious. Look, it looks delicious. I was curious about this. Delicious.
There you go. That's great. That's the way it's supposed to be.
So you let them cook for 5 minutes.
Let the crab cake cook for 5 minutes in the oven, about 425. You know, we use a convection oven that in the restaurant, so you might need to crank it up to 450 if you're going to cook it.
Oh, okay. So this is so good. I just think that we invite everybody to visit your restaurant and try it.
That sounds like a good idea to me. We for sure want to do that, and especially if they have any needs that they want to help out with any kind of, like even like I was talking about, Hannah is a soccer star. When you get that stuff, if anybody else has any little soccer stars that need help for the new uniforms or new balls or anything that they're doing and stuff like that, we want to be able to support those kind of things.
So I think this has been great to have you here. It's also interesting. One of the things I was curious about your last name, Kyle.
Kyle.
Where is that coming from?
Well, I guess we're Scottish from the lineage that we've checked out. All of my shit that they said that we've even fought, next to William Wallace and all those things like that. So it's but we've been in America so long. When you asked me, I said, well, lineage, I said, well, I'm really from Ohio, so
right.
I don't know much more than that.
But the part I like it about Cafe Latino Cooking with Friends is that the diverse between food and people that is so diverse in this Northern Virginia. People from around the world is here.
Right.
So this is what I was just, I always like to know a little about the people, where they're from.
Right.
So it's just something that I do here. So
that's good.
So well, it's been awesome to have you here, and I think the flavors are very, very specific. And when I saw the little dressing, but it's been covered everything. So the dressing is just perfect.
Just right.
Yeah, it's just right. And I love the chips or the tortilla. How do they call it?
Tortillas. They're fried tortillas, right?
Do you do the tortillas or
we don't make the flour or the corn tortillas ourselves. Well, maybe you can come by and teach me that and work that into the system. So
I can teach you how to do perfect round tortillas, and then you can fry them and then cook them. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I know how to do. I still have to do a couple of things, but this is what I want to invite friends to know, how to cook and everything. I hope so next time you can bring another delicious
well, maybe we'll bring some crabs and we'll do a big steam pot and we'll get some crabs going over there. Yeah. Well, we'll work it out. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun, and we can invite Fairfax Public Access team people to it.
That would be great.
So tell me about something that I always curious. How you manage to receive so many people at the restaurant at the same time? It's something like I always curious about the restaurants. I see people entering and then food coming out, and it's just something that I would like to learn a little about behind the scenes of the restaurant.
Well, it's all planning. So we've got a good idea where we want to sit everybody, and the servers all have assigned stations and where they do what they're supposed to do. Then we make sure that happens. All right, we walk through they have assigned stations, and then we bring tables around where we know where they're going to be, and they're going to do that stuff. And even in our restaurant, since we have such a large restaurant, we do travel buses all the time. So we do parties of 40, parties of 30, and sometimes we do parties of 30 and parties of 40 at the same time. So we get those together to go. So it's all mapping out the restaurant and being able to plan it ahead of time, and then working with all your people and making sure that they're making sure that happens, whether it's with the greeters and the host staff, make sure they're not messing it up by putting a table where it doesn't belong, and with the servers by making sure that they're taking care of the tables and the guests and everybody that's sitting there and getting them everything that they need and getting them on their way at the same time, getting more room for the people that are supposed to be coming in at the times that we're going to get that done. And
then the kitchen. I was always curious when I see these shows in TV, and I said, it had to be so hard to send so many. How do you
it's all part of the same planning. You're working with everybody that's out there, and so you're making sure that when you're talking with the guests, you're talking with the greeters, and you're talking with the servers, that they're not all ringing them all in at the same time. So you're getting up to the table over here, and you're getting that one rung in. Then you're going back to the kitchen, making sure they're starting that one and getting the next one going on at the same time. Things are not as they're not exactly the same way they are in Hell's Kitchen and Gordon Ramsay and all things like that. So no one's screaming in the back, yelling at anybody like that. Well, not as much anyway. We're not using those colorful languages that they maybe were using back in his day, but we're definitely not doing that anymore.
So you now the process to. Before they got a little piece of paper. Now it's everything is.
Everything's on the computer. So there's computers placed throughout the whole restaurant where people can go and be by their tables and take care of the people that are sitting at those tables and just ring those things up there. and then be able to get that stuff ready to go and not have to go back in and talk to the kitchen, because they can pretty much type in and say everything they want to say to the kitchen.
So no more little piece of paper, it's just everything on the computer.
No more things we used to call chits or those little paper checks or anything like that. So we're hanging them back there and trying to do the stuff and try to read everybody's different handwriting and do those things.
Yeah, because you lived that situation.
Correct. Yeah. Well, it was, unfortunately, I guess I'm old enough to remember those things, and trying to get those things ready to go and trying to read their handwriting and getting out something that was wrong that you thought that said, rare, and it said ranch or something crazy like that, and we did those wrong things.
Did you write? It had to be so hard to read. The people take notes so fast.
Correct, right, especially when they were really busy and they have lots of tables and do those things. That was a big mess, but technology is a wonderful thing, so it gets everything ready to go. And when you're able to time things out that way, and there are even programs inside the computers that will send back appetizers first and give you ample time to get them done and even half eaten before the entrees even are shown to the kitchen for them to be cooked. So those are things that we do that.
So I was just so curious about that. It's like technology has changing so fast, no? And you are in social media and using all their sources, no?
Oh yeah, we like to go out. Joe's Crab Shack's got their own Facebook page and Twitter page and all those good things. And there are fun things that are coming down the pike with those things, and going on to Twitter and to TripAdvisor and all those things like that, and saying nice things about Joe's Crab Shack or commenting on Joe's Crab Shack. You might get a response.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was a fun time.
Thank you. Today we had the opportunity to learn how different restaurants around the Northern Virginia are helping the community. Thank you for watching Café Latino with Friends. We will see you next time here in Café Latino.